Hardleg and his friends, they're gonna play a lot of games. It's Legsplay.
I just like not as a super heavily dyslexic person. I like not having to read and pay attention to what's happening on the screen because I read too slowly to keep up with half the subtitles, especially when like multiple characters are talking.
So I guess is it subs versus dubs this time on Legsplay?
Subs versus dubs. Well, it's not really. I was just
one of us will live, one of us will die.
Guess what?
I mean, we're all gonna die.
I mean, guess what? We're both going to die.
Yeah, but you're gonna die first. I win.
Just because I died first doesn't make you right.
It's not a race. I'm Hardleg Joe, by the way. We always got to introduce ourselves.
I'm a dead man walking, apparently.
Yeah, that's CB Radio.
Yeah, it's episode 40-something, so I mean...
there's not too many new people.
I should probably make some kind of map so I'm not going in circles, because I feel like I'm going in circles.
You're going in circles.
But there's that chest over there.
Oh my god, you're trying so hard for that chest. It's probably just going to be like...
It's like Dark
water,
Souls.
Yeah.
You have to show so hard for Gwendolyn's chest.
Worthy of it.
No, I mean, that's 90% of her body, though.
Praise the sun.
Both of them.
Comment in the comments if the sun.
If you're the sun.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo.
Here comes the sun.
Doo-doo-doo-doo!
But, where were we? Oh yeah, on My Hero. So that's how...
We talked about My Hero Academia last time.
System. So that's how the balancing system kind of works, is that usually there's a consequence to using, especially the more powerful quirk. If you overuse it, it can be dangerous to the person. Generally.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think we fought this before.
Yeah. It actually has a
It's not
limiter.
like a hard magic system.
Yeah, you can do pretty much everything.
It's got great limiters.
Yeah, because like the one dude who makes explosions is like how he makes explosions is that his sweat is like nitroglycerin, and then he just like can basically ignite it. So like he creates explosions. The problem is the bigger the explosion and the more explosions he continually makes, that's like, you know, his muscle fibers like can break up and tear themselves because he's constantly moving his arms and exploding things, and his sweat glands like can burst basically because of the explosions.
Yep, we gotta watch out for that.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole point is that there's like as like a writing exercise. We were just and like a game design thing. We were trying to figure out really powerful quirks that had limited balance or that didn't need much balancing, or had like super heavy balancing. So one of them was like solid energy is what he called his quirk. And it was basically that he can absorb energy like sunlight, kinetic, any kind of energy he can absorb it, of course to a limit. And then if he overdoes it, it basically like immobilizes him. But he can also release that energy in the form of like a solid like structure, so like a staff, an axe, whatever he wants to make, like a little dart that he can throw. But the problem is that basically, like, it makes a lightsaber, basically, like, because it's both solid, but it's also pure energy. So.
Yeah, it's plasma.
Yeah, it's plasma, basically. So, like, we were trying to figure out what's the balance there, because also, obviously in combat, he's pretty OP. You know, if he can, but we learned basically, like, in order to absorb that, he has to create, like, a little shield around himself of energy and, like, absorb the rest of the outside energy. So like, let's say you All Might, like it's the same way he would solve the Nemu problem. Is that you just overpower him with kinetic energy and then put him at his limit or past it. Is because you just keep punching him until he couldn't move, basically. Yeah.
And it just reminds me, it's I don't want to say the title. I know you know the title, but part of the reason I started my whole channel was because I had a huge comic that I was hoping to work on, and I needed an artist for it, and I thought YouTube would be a good way to earn money while being able to write at the same time. And one of the big things about it, as far as like when I made it, it was it starred 56.
Oh, I remember this.
Or not 56.
They all had
55 characters.
They all had like some kind of.
And they all had a power, and sort of the same thing. We used to do these exercises. That's partially how I met Brandon, because he rode the same bus as me. And we'd be sitting on the bus, and I had like specific things about like what it took in order to make a power viable for this, because I wanted specific rules so that everything was roughly balanced, where it was like the power has to be self-contained, as far as like if you are in a complete void of a room, you can still use this power to do whatever you need to do.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought that, like, and up until this moment, I didn't know those were writing exercises. I thought those were laws that you not lived by, but you created, wrote like powers by. And I've been using them ever since.
I mean, I use them for that, but it's not necessarily like what you need to do for every power.
I know.
Like every magic system is different.
Yeah, well,
I haven't used them in ages, but I had been using them for like the longest time.
Yeah, I had a bunch of other ones. It was like not just that. That was like the main one I remember because everyone was always like, "Oh, you can command the elements, so you can command this." I was like, "No, it needs to be something that like they can do on their person, regardless of where they." Oh, wait, there it is.
For me,
dumb.
like the one that impressed me the most was not so much that you're in a void, is that you have officially been dropped out of a plane with no parachute, with nothing on you.
Why can't I make it through?
Because that's a.
You gotta go up.
Yeah, go up to the next portal.
You gotta go into that next room up, or into the right.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, you've been officially dropped out of a plane or some form of there.
You have to escape. Somehow.
You have to escape somehow, or use the momentum as an attack of some sort.
Yeah, you have to be able to survive. You have to use the power to survive a drop, and then I believe the thing was like, there's a guy with a gun trying to kill you. You have to be able to
survive
either survive the gun or defeat the person without dying from the bullets.
Yeah, no, this is separate from the ball.
Okay. Oh, I understand. They're two separate situations.
Yeah.
One and
the other one I remember is literally you are standing at a standing position, and your opponent is launching themselves at you. How do you defend yourself?
I don't think that was... All I remember was you had to survive a gun and you had to survive a fall. Because all my powers were, like, based around that, and they had to be balanced out. But one of the things was that, like... So there's, I think, 55 characters.
I'm just super proud of it. It's the one thing that I've created that has actually been connected.
5 of them don't follow that rules.
Okay.
So it's like, everyone's balanced, except I made sure that there are 5 that are, like...
Ridiculous.
Overpowered,
right?
So that when they do show up, there's stakes. Because when everything's equal, it's not as exciting. Like it's
it is in a sense because you have to get creative.
Yeah,
but there's still.
It's cool to see these interesting fights, but then at the same time, it's always just like, and then the guy shows up, and everyone needs to team up against him because he's
to use this show like all for one and all might going one at it. There's no one that was on that level.
Those two are their own.
They're their own tier. Yeah, that's what he's trying to go. Like once they appear, things go from that was fun and that was weird
to like shit.
But
damn. What
and again, that's the thing. It's like. You set up. I have 30 characters. They're all equal power, and then someone comes in that can beat 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then someone else comes in who can beat 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then those 2 guys fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, get ready, boys! Shit's about to go down.
This is where it gets good.
Yeah. So the best one I came up with, because that was my friend. That was the best one he came up with. The best one I came up with, I called it Stormcloud. It's a pretty simple one. There's a storm cloud that consistently follows him around. He can command it as
comment with your power ideas.
Yes, please do. I'm actually very interested. But basically, he can command a storm cloud that's around him to up to a certain distance that you can be go shock that guy or basic commands, or he can expand it to become an actual cloud. The problem is that it creates it from his own hydration. Like his sweat glands are basically the rain, but it doesn't. It's rain. It converts it into rain.
Have you ever been
so he has to be
rain?
consistently hydrated in order to do it. Because the bigger the cloud, the faster. The more his powers are, the bigger the cloud can shoot out lightning and produce typhoons and stuff. But the faster he can pass out and stuff because his power. Because he's becoming dehydrated.
Would you mind grading one I just came up with?
1 second. So to use the falling test would be his. He would probably have to create a wind force from the cloud to direct him. The bullet one would just be a bolt of lightning from the cloud at either the gun, the guy's hand, or the gun itself to melt.
Yeah.
For the room, the void, it would be, he has a cloud in the room with him.
Well, that would be, okay.
Yeah,
so he can create it even if he's in, a factory.
Yeah, the point is, it comes from him. It comes from his,
It's a little comedy cloud that follows people around.
Yeah. It's think about it as the wizard spell from D&D, Aggressive Cloud, Thundercloud?
No.
Okay, Aggressive Thundercloud is just, you literally summon a little puff of cloud that follows your enemy, and it shocks them for, 3d6 damage. Did you get there?
Can you get there?
Yay!
Except there's another chest up there.
What? No!
Why? Why did you tell him?
Because I want to keep talking.
Okay, fair point.
But that's how he'd pass the 3 tests. So what I found would be cool to insert in his basically his whole kit. So you know how their costumes are supposed to complement their quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he basically had like the best camelback ever on his bag, and then like instead of like water, it's like Formula 1 water. It's like the best kind of hydration you can get.
Yeah,
it's
high quality
H2O. Yeah. So like something like that where like he can like create like to allow him to create bigger clouds for a longer time, or to expand the cloud for a longer time. Now I will gladly hear your point.
Oh, it's just one I came up with. Essentially, a person has the the same kind of like I want to say orifices, but it's just and I just
it's a girl with extra orifices.
The exercise. This exercise is not only do you think of the quirk, but you follow the My Hero Academia rules. So the My Hero Academia, besides one for all and all for one, all the quirks are at least 1 or 2 words that can accurately describe the quirk. There has to be a balancing mechanic, and how would you market the superhero? Sorry. So just describe me
guys,
to help focus
it's a strange blue water. Do we want to drink it?
Yes.
It's called water.
Amazing taste. Yes.
HP and MP completely restored.
Now in Blue Mountain Powerade.
Oh,
cool.
The green water does it too. I hope.
The green water does not do it. Green water tends to not do that. That's the bad
Green water is
stuff.
usually poison water.
Yeah. But no, essentially the same kind of, for lack of a better term, orifices that like Boo has, like Majin Buu,
okay.
and has like ones on the wrist, on the hand, on the
so he has holes.
He has holes, and from them, like Majin Buu, he's able to expel immense amounts of air, but it's at the expense of his own lung capacity.
The only problem I'd see there is that you would improve the quirk by breathing exercises, but physically human limitation wise, there's only so much capacity you could build up. And I don't know, again, proportionally the quirk wise, with the sweat, there's only so much.
Oh, he's
sweat,
he's not able to just push it.
Yeah.
This is he's able to kind of what's his name? Jets in his legs.
Left or right?
Gran Torino, right.
Right. Not Gran Torino. Ida,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like the engine quirk.
Yeah, like the engine quirk.
Except reverse.
In reverse, yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, he would be able to take in a lot more amounts of oxygen, but not in the sense of
Okay.
you would have unlimited.
What did we find out? Is left the way you should have gone?
What?
Is it changing the
destination? Seems like it. Because sometimes this door goes there and sometimes it doesn't. Or I guess it does all the time now. There's no way out of that room.
Awkward. Looks like we go forward.
You go down to
without
the other
that
portal.
chest.
Or not. That's good.
Go
Let's see
down.
if,
Try going down. Is there
see if
another
there-
portal in the room?
See if there's an exit door.
No, there's not an exit door. Maybe drinking the water does something?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe drinking the water will make you go right or left or something like that.
Oh, I could not escape. We'll have to figure it out in a second.
Alright. But yeah, I would. So, what would you call that quirk?
Long breath.
Long breath? Alright, that's not a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm trying to think of some of my more unique ones I had for my story to see how they would fit in. But a lot of them were much more, they didn't rely on, bodily stuff. They were very difficult to explain in a lot of ways.
So that's the beauty kind of My Hero, is that, again, because of the system they use, it's, super easy to explain, but can get really complex long-term.
Yeah. Or, I had ones that, they basically, they led to really neat fights.
Okay.
But they didn't necessarily have, a in-universe explanation. I remember there was a guy who his whole thing...
Yeah, I think this affects it, because look, the screen changes after that. So try it again.
There we go.
Okay.
It moves you into the direction of the actual drink.
I don't think it does that. I think it just changes the way the warp portals work.
Alright, so we went through the right one.
So we want to go through the left.
Nope.
Shit.
Huh. So yeah, now we'll try the left one again, maybe, after drinking the water.
Yeah.
Tastes great.
Tastes
Less
great.
calories.
Less calories.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, like there's the one guy who could he could basically teleport, but he could only teleport within the distance of his own body. Like he could teleport as far as he could reach his hand. His whole thing was that basically he could move his body around.
Oh, you told me about this, like instant speed, basically, like instant teleportation with like no.
Yeah, there was no calm down. It was just the only thing was the distance.
Yeah, but he would he'd teleport so rapidly that he'd basically create like holograms of him.
Oh no, that was a different thing.
Okay.
This was more like or what was it? It was not just himself too. It was anything he touched. So like the thing was he would be fighting you and he would just like put his hand on your chest and he would teleport you in the exact same place you were but upside down.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So he yeah.
On top of the fact
or like he'd run up to you and they'd be like halt, you're not allowed. He would touch you and you would just be behind him.
Yeah. Oh, that's really neato.
Or same thing, like someone shoots at him or whatever and he could be like perfectly horizontal while like running and then like as he hit the ground turn himself back right side up.
That's that's super limited power, but really useful when you get creative with it. I like those powers.
The one that you said that was teleportation, I think you've changed him. I think it was what this guy was originally.
You talking about the statue guy?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite
ones. He was arguably, or not arguably, like easily just an overpowered
So try going right instead. After
try just choosing that same that same portal again. Actually, on the.
No. You drink the green water and then
go right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it changed the map, so go right this time. Because you've been consistently going left. Now go back in. What the shit? All right, now I don't understand.
Drink both of them.
I don't understand. Maybe you could look up Rogue Tower Legends of Legaia.
Yeah, when you get up to try going through the same portal that you just went into there.
Let me try. Whoa, I jumped around a little bit.
Yeah, essentially the guy would be, was it range of vision, or was it just...
I forget, I had a limit of it, but it was just like a hard, I think it was 20 meters or something.
Okay.
It was like a rough distance, he would never teleport out of sight, he couldn't go across the continent. But the big thing was that whenever he teleported, he left behind a stone statue in the shape of his body where he was before he teleported.
It was so awesome, because I just pictured him being, plummeting towards some guy, and then, teleporting 30 times, and then there's just this hailstorm of stone statue.
I think he could only do it in a certain...
order. I think we'd have to memorize the order, but it looks like when you enter through that gate, it warps again. Look, watch. The screen transitions again. Alright, never mind. Yep, there it is. So now it changes.
So now try left or right.
So I think try left? I think it doesn't matter. I think you're stuck in this loop now. Oh,
never mind.
Never mind.
Maybe I just can't do it while it's doing that?
Maybe, I don't know. Can you move during those instances?
Yeah, I can move while it's doing that. I just froze there.
Okay. Huh.
Maybe? Every time I hit in a teleporter and I'm like, please don't send me back. Please don't send me back. I'm just gonna wait for it to go real quick.
Yeah.
I think that's your best bet.
But yeah, I don't think he could what was it? The other thing, I think he had to both his hands had to be together. Because the thing was they run into a statue and he's like a monk.
Okay.
And so the statue looks like a statue of a Buddhist monk praying with pray hands or whatever.
No, the one you described to me was
that was for my superhero, the guy who he basically had unlimited teleportation, but that was his only power.
That was his only power, but the way he teleported, he could stop a train realistically, unlike Superman.
Yeah, because he could teleport so fast that he would cover every surface of it and push against it at once. Yeah.
Because he's teleporting so rapidly. It's like the Flash moving across the train, creating holograms of himself holding the train.
He moves so fast that
he cushions the force at all directions. Unlike Superman, who if he had tried to stop it normally, he'd just rip the train in half.
Yeah.
But luckily there's tactile telekinesis and all that weird stuff.
Yeah.
There's Griffin.
I'm trying to think, there was that other guy, I think I cut him out, but his whole thing was that he could regenerate from any and all harm but only if he inflicted it to himself.
Huh.
So he would like rip his arm off and use it as a weapon.
Huh. That's really
Or like the whole thing like he would get shot in the chest or whatever. At one point he gets like just completely shot up and he just like rips his own head off and tosses it out a window and then his body grows back like a fresh one.
Oh, and that
like,
body like disintegrates or whatever, or
yeah,
just crumples.
Yeah, it was just like the old body that got shot up. Like he wouldn't have been able to heal from that, but because he ripped his head off, the head could regrow because he did it to himself.
Right, but if let's say, so would I be able to shoot you as like a Logan kind of thing, or if I shoot you in the head, you're dead?
Yeah, if he got hit in the head, he would just be dead.
Okay.
His whole thing, like he would like they'd shoot at him and he'd put his arms up and his arm would get all riddled with bullets, and then he would just rip it off and a new one would grow back.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Now, where does it become?
It was neat,
but to when it like, isn't he by defending himself? With that causing harm to himself?
Yeah, that's why he eventually, I think I took that out, because I was like, not only does this make no sense, like, I couldn't think of a single rational explanation for why he would possibly have this power.
Right.
Unlike the guy with blades coming out of nowhere.
But that's okay, because that guy is cool.
Yeah, that guy's cool,
Rule of
and
cool,
I'm guessing
guys.
he's one of the top 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
the blade from everywhere guy.
Yeah, so like that breaks the rule. So that's an exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
I just love the ridiculous.
Or there's the guy who had, what was it? He had been born with that same disease that Mr. Glass has, where his bones are just like super brittle.
Mm-hmm.
So they removed his bones entirely, and then put his body in like this exoskeleton.
Okay.
Where basically like it's like this thin wire mesh around him.
Okay. So
that allows him to like bend and move in any
so
direction.
He's like basically like an octopus man.
Basically an octopus man with like metal arms.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Metal arms.
The other one I came up with before that was inspired by Tezzeret. Remember that image I showed you of that dude who's like got like skeleton hands that were like metal?
Mm-hmm.
Remember those metal skeleton hands I showed you?
That's the best way to describe them. If you don't, I can show you a picture.
It's just not a sentence you hear all that often.
Yeah. But there was basically a power around that. I called it lithium. I think is like, although lithium's not the best word because that was just a metal. That's the metal I could think of at the time. But basically, he, I think is lithium the most easily malleable metal?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. It was supposed to be like basically his body's made of like basically electromatter, or his arms are made of electromatter. So like they could expand and like depending on like the currents he puts through, they could expand or like change shape and stuff. So he can make like shields out of his arms, turn them into claws, like. But it's only limited to the metal in his hands because his arms were metal. So like he could like it wasn't a very strong quirk. It was the first one I came up with, but like. Basically, like, you remember Prototype?
Yeah.
The game? It was basically like a minor version of that, where his hands could become like any weapon. His hands could become like...
Shape-shifting hands.
Yeah, shape-shifting hands, but they're metal too, so they could be more devastating physically. And also he could defend against like a gun or something.
I see a safe spot.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Is it secret?
Alright, wait for the thing. Oh no, never mind.
You have to wait for that.
I'm waiting for it now.
Yeah,
Bloop, 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 bloop. And then we go.
Yeah.
Ah, dag nabbit.
Oh, is this the same spot?
Yep.
No, because we couldn't see the thing before.
Oh.
We could. Yeah, it's a different spot.
I think it's in the pattern. Although I haven't been paying attention to the pattern, I'm sorry.
The pattern just looks like the same, or not Ouroboros, whatever the
It's a snack.
It's a snack wrapped around a stack.
What did the ancient Romans call it? Snake stick.
Yep. Snack stack.
Oh, I don't remember the word for it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Hermes staff.
Mm.
Yep.
It's symbol for medical knowledge now.
Medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana. Damn it.
Damn it, Bobby. You're causing propane to everyone.
No, we're going. We're
Have
just
you ever
going
seen the
backwards.
picture?
I know,
of,
but we haven't gone the other way.
Hank Hill wearing wearing the Naruto Akatsuki cloak and going like, "It's time for you to feel propane."
No.
Damn it!
Or experience propane.
Does he have like 3 nose rings?
Yeah,
and
it's pretty
ridiculous amount of piercing.
It's pretty funny.
Have you seen the one where he's like whispering to Peggy, and she looks shocked, and he's like, "Propanal."
Oh, Lord. Ah, crap, that was my hand.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, you guys ever seen that movie, The Stupids?
No.
Yes. Lloyd.
Good old Lloyd, yeah. I
Lloyd.
mean, someone reviewed it recently, and it was like, this is the weirdest movie. You know how normally in a movie, when you have a dumb guy, or like just an absurdly dumb guy, or a pair of them, like Dumb and Dumber, and then there's like straight men who are just like in disbelief at how like this like imagine that, but no one's a straight man. Everyone just sort of like, but no one. It's not the whole world is dumb. It's that these people are exceptionally the dumbest, and just no one seems to really notice.
Yeah, they just coast somehow, and they come out on top, smelling like roses somehow.
Yeah, the big joke. It's just like this whole family is just really dumb. They like sleep in their beds the other way, and they like drop their toast on the floor before they eat it. Just completely arbitrary stuff.
Right.
And their whole thing, like, it starts out, he goes outside, and he sees his trash can. He's like, not again. And he opens it up. He's like, someone stole our trash. Again! And then he goes to look for them and gets wrapped up with, like, an illegal arms deal with, like, Russians and the government because they're meeting at a dump.
Ah, I see.
But, like that, and the only other funny part is they're stalking through a planetarium. And they're like, there could be traps everywhere. Like, as simple as this, you could be dead. Like, you wouldn't even know it. And then they, like, walk into the planetarium, and the lights go out, and they're like, oh, it happened. We're dead. And then, like, the stars come out, and they're like, ah, so this is heaven, then. And then a janitor named Lloyd comes up, and they're like, oh, the Lord! He's like, it's Lloyd, actually. And they're like, we've been saying it wrong this whole time. And then later on, he breaks out of chains, declaring, in the name of the Lord!
Oh, it's such a weird damn movie.
And then, like, everything else about it is supposed to be garbage. According to the other people, they're like, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. It wasn't funny. It was just weird. There was those two moments.
Tom Allen, by the way.
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold, whatever.
Don't get confused with Tim Allen.
It's married to Rosie O'Donnell at one point.
Yep. Not in that movie, though. He's married some other woman.
No, in real life, married too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why he got famous.
I wouldn't marry Roseanne. Time to pick up this boss.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like you could pick it up, but I mean,
Rosie O'Donnell, didn't I?
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr. My gosh.
I wouldn't marry either of them.
Yeah. It was Roseanne
The
Barr.
voice is just too grating.
Yeah.
Remember that time she sang the Star Spangled Banner and everyone hated her?
Yeah.
No.
No. Well,
she like.
he's a youngin.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
How old is everyone, by the way?
24.
24, Brandon?
29.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were like significant. I guess I am 32. Fuck.
I'll be 30 in like 5 months.
How old's everyone down in the comments too?
That's dating this. I'll be 30 in a few months.
That's still dating, but okay.
A few months is better than giving an actual number.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want to put a guitar riff over that? I don't know.
I don't think it'll matter that much.
It doesn't matter. It's
no
not
one's gonna
like,
find you just because your birthday.
Oh no, I'm just like I don't want people doing it.
Yeah. Dating the video, I'd talk about dating the video as far as like I don't want to talk about like current events.
Like, you know, like you see what Jerry Seinfeld did today? 'Cause, like no one's gonna get that joke.
Oh, so we
10
can't
years
talk
from
about our new robot overlord.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Well, you don't want to talk about them anyway.
I
I
mean,
mean, I can already hear the hum of the helicopters.
just hear a buzz noise and it's like,
Heavenly as they be.
Yeah.
I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Did I say overlords? I meant protectors.
thank you, Jonathan Colton, for being
Yep.
our prophet.
I like how you just slowly punching, not actually doing any attacks.
Yeah, I forgot that this was a boss.
Yeah.
So you've been cheesing him?
Not cheesing him, he's been doing the laziest possible strategy and not even an effective one, though, so I can't call it a food strategy.
To be fair, we're kind of over leveled because I think I.
Explosion Fist.
Oh yeah, I got a whole.
Spoon! You have like a status ailment.
Yeah,
Spoon it up.
yes, spoon it up, man.
Sure, why not?
That sounds like Greenhouse. Yeah, spoon it up, man.
I'll tell you what, there, man. Just gonna go and spoon it up.
Or it's just, alright, good.
It's just gonna give a wiggle waggle and then it falls down.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. I know it's not Seymour. I don't remember who it is.
No,
It is Seymour, yeah.
No, it's Seymour. Yeah, we just didn't laugh.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
trying to remember what Seymour Skinner's actual name is, because he's not the real Seymour Skinner. He's like Armin Tanzarian.
Yeah, Armin Tanzarian. He's perfect right there.
Yep. You ever see that episode of The Simpsons?
I've seen that one actually more than most episodes, which is odd, considering it's considered the worst one in the bunch.
Oh.
I get it.
Because he's white.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Magic.
Yeah.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Orb. Hardleg doesn't need stuff. Why would he need stuff?
Well, he does Kinemaru.
Oh, yeah.
We should probably give him stuff then.
Yeah.
We get to the actual save spot.
You got me. I'm in a dog.
I give Hardleg all the +4s.
We get him to the save spot, and then
+4 that doesn't replenish.
Oh, whoops.
Just increases the amount he has.
Damn it.
Now he has more magic than Bootleg.
No, he has more temporary magic, but he doesn't actually have more magic because the magic is now at 180. You just increased the limit it could go to 400.
It's okay. I drank some green water. I'm fine.
Or to 400, yeah.
But you have spots growing all over your body.
It's green water. It's fine. It's healthy. It's the color of nature.
No.
The earth is mostly green.
There's something black and wriggling in it.
Ah, that's just flavor.
That's just flavor country. Welcome to it.
And I just winked at me.
Would you stop worrying?
That literally, you're starting to steam through your throat. That,
Like a steamed vegetable.
Like
Only smarter.
Only smarter. Keeps drinking. Just comes out of the throat. Ah, this is healthy.
He like literally starts eating through the bottom of his chin, starts falling through it. Like,
You're steaming, Squidward. You're like a steamed vegetable, only smarter.
steamed hams.
Steamed hams.
Alright, that is the one time I will ever use that joke, and never again.
What joke? You just said steamed hams. It's not a joke.
It's a joke on meme. It's an internet meme, and I don't get it.
It's steamed hams. It's delicious. It's one of those things where it's like, there's a whole bunch of like
videos, yeah.
No, not alter. There's a whole bunch of like alternate phrases that I always want to use, and then I always forget.
What?
Like steamed ham. Like I always want to be like, hey, you guys want to go down to Wendy's, get some steamed hams? And I just forget to say it. I just say burgers.
It's fine. I'd rather you say burgers and not waste my time with steamed ham.
Yeah, but the meme that I don't see.
Yep. Kind of like, remember I was telling you earlier, I wanted to say ahoy hoy more.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take it back.
Yeah. Well, you're not really. It never was lost, so
yeah.
You can take it back.
But I wanted to bring it back.
Yeah.
Revive
it.
I wanted to live the dream.
I want people to greet each other with ahoy hoy more. Ahoy hoy, everyone out there.
That's how Bootleg greets everyone. But
with a fart. You couldn't hear it, but there was a big old stanky on it.
It was loud enough here. I thought it might have been picked up.
Yep. God damn.
It's a small recording space.
No,
I'm gonna make you suffer.
I'm just reminded of my brother and his friend. They used to play a game called Toots.
Oh no!
God.
You sank my battle shits.
What?
That's from was it the Harold and Kumar go to the White Castle, the first one?
Oh, I never watched it.
Good. Actually, the first one was alright.
Yeah, that's why I was like I quoted that one and not the other two.
Yeah, they just I just couldn't believe they were like kids and they're like, let's play a game of Toots, and my brother would fart and my brother's friend would be like, all right, and just fart. I'd be like, how did you know that was gonna happen? And then my brother's like, wait, like clenching and making noises and stuff like that. And then like 5 minutes later he'd maybe like squeeze out a little like, and then his friend would just be like, I see that. Like, and actually fart, and I'm like, can you just fart on command? He's like, yeah.
Can't everyone?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I was like, no!
What are you?
How can you do that? It's just like, he was the reigning Toots champion forever. Because he could just like, at any point, he would just challenge you to Toots, and he could always fart.
It's like me being able to burp on cue, but that's something you do with your, like, lungs. That's your, wow, how do you even, yeah. No, if I don't do a good one, it actually hurts in the throat.
Oh, I have to go there while it's being googly. Tara, is this place is the rogue here? I should just like, should I tell them? Like, you're in a seru White Castle. You've been killing all the customers. Oh, I understand. You can't talk now.
Oh, what could that head rogue be?
Where could that head rogue? And then Rouge the Bat just walks on in. Like, it was a Sonic fanfic the whole time.
I sense the presence of evil, but the rogue is nowhere to be seen.
It must be invisible! Starts punching into the sky. Quick, everyone! If we punch into the sky, eventually we'll find it. Oh no.
That would have been the wrong guess.
Ow! Ah!
Whacked in the face.
It's the rogue!
I assume. Some kind of seru. What will it take the form of?
More diamonds.
Are we just fighting diamonds? We're gonna shine bright like a diamond?
Fight bright like a
This
diamond.
is the head rogue, the one sealed in the tower. This is how we end it. If we defeat this one, the Mist and Conqueror will disappear.
And we'll evolve into a Raichu.
Let's get him! Oh, okay. I was like, you gonna do a dance? Something happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a diamond.
It's just the Fortress of Solitude.
Like a diamond.
Yep. Kenimaru. Spirit. Kenimaru.
Kenimaru!
The first one takes it down, like, what? What?
Do you remember any more powers from that story?
Oh, I
There were
remember
50 and I can't remember hardly any of them.
I can remember so many of them.
He
There
says
was-
as he struggles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was that one guy, and he light reflected off him more slowly. So everyone always saw him 10 seconds after where he actually
that's cool.
was. So he had lag for real life.
Oh, that's
It was just really hard to find out where he was and what he was doing, because
Yeah,
he was
you
always
can take
10
advantage of that
seconds.
in a fight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. I did struggle. I do remember the two big ones. There was was someone who like originally named Bob, then he turned into a girl, and I don't remember what her name was, but should literally manifest blades out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Then there was the one I obviously remember.
That one's
because,
not interesting to discuss, him or the sound guy.
Yeah, well, the sound guy I made up. That's why I was like,
Oh yeah, okay. Here's a guy. Everything he touches, or anything he touches, he can make invincible. So like, he could grab a sheet of paper and hold it up, and it would be able to block bullets.
Oh, interesting.
So he like just by nature of existing makes his clothes invincible.
I remember.
So they're just bulletproof. Like,
Yeah.
in a sense.
It's
So,
just
like,
anything he can make is bulletproof, and also anything
So
he.
like, if you were to throw a sheet over him during a nuclear blast, he would survive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I do remember.
Element change.
Oh crap.
Is this a story boss, and I haven't been paying attention?
Perhaps
Did Kenimaru do a bunch of damage? Was anyone looking?
they did 3,000 damage.
Okay, so look to see if he now has Earth resistance against Arcane Mars.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I do remember the main character, which was actually I remember.
Yeah,
the
main character is surprisingly like what's his name, Deku.
Deku,
Yeah,
where he just stores energy and then releases it.
pretty much.
I also remember a janitor that was.
Yeah, he got tossed out.
Yeah, he got tossed out, but I remember him quite clearly because he was interesting to me. Like, he was like a master of like all martial arts.
He could learn any martial art.
He could
by
learn any
seeing
martial
it.
arts, but he was just like he just stuck around being a janitor in all these like facilities that were getting constantly attacked.
Yeah, he was just always in the background, and then one day someone tries to attack him, and he like fights back and is surprisingly tough.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's an interesting power, but the problem I have with learning martial arts is gun beats karate.
Yeah,
Every time.
that's why when I the thing is I had an original version of it that was just all these powers I thought of that were goofy.
They were this is what he originally pitched to me, and then
And then eventually I went back and I was like, okay, I need to make this more serious, and that was when I came up with the rules.
Yeah.
And that was when I tossed out people like the janitor. I also used to have like a chicken that was like a fighter, and it had like claws and it had the minds of a man.
I know that my character went through at least 5 separate changes.
Well, he's not your character
Well,
anymore.
sorry, my idea for a character.
Yeah, with sound and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I've taken such a like.
What I like, the coolest sound power I have is not like sonic booms or screeches, but harmony is what I'd call it. It is basically to raise, to create the perfect note. Like you have perfect pitch, perfect note, and you can just like basically like by tapping something, you can create like you can disrupt its structural integrity from sound waves.
It still seems to be doing 3,600 or so,
Yeah,
like almost 4,000.
It's done 4,000 a couple times.
Rogue flame.
Rogue flame.
What?
What the?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Oh.
Is that, this doesn't look good.
Oh boy.
Boom!
Oof! Big oof.
Okay, for a second there, I thought it had evaporated Hardleg.
No, Hardleg is almost untouched by it.
Because he's
let's
that
see.
fire in his spirit.
His
I'd
spoon is at level 4.
I'd spoon anyway.
I mean,
I'd
you're always
always
up for a spoon.
Hers is at level 3. Yeah, we'll get him to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to say like it's my character, but
no,
I just
you're the one. It's the one you're most attached to.
yeah.
The fond of. But the reason I like that is because, like, again, like sonic booms and like screeches are most predictable. But if like you can like basically hum and like the vibration going through your body vibrates like a building. Like it doesn't seem like a destructive power, but like if you do it for long enough to a building, it would collapse.
You literally can break things down on a sonic level.
With the one he's talking about is one of the overpowered guys, but his thing was he constantly absorbed sound from all around him, like within a radius, and the sound waves collected and formed like a barrier around him. So like people would shoot at him with like machine guns, and they would just like go around him.
War zone, it was like just like
everything would go like there's when he first shows up, he literally walks through a building, and the walls just sort of like bend inwards and then break open. Like everything, basically, he's just invincible around him, and nothing can get close to him.
My favorite part about it was that.
And then, if he wants to, he can release all the sound at once in a sonic boom that basically just like in a radius can level a whole town.
Right.
But then he's like a normal guy for like several hours until the shield builds up again.
Actually, legitimately, my favorite part about that character though was like when he walks around, he literally he walks into a room and nothing makes sound.
It just everything goes silent.
It's like it's a.
So now, question: if you were to wear headphones and play them at the loudest volume, would it still make sound, or would it just directly absorb and create like super hardcore shields?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, those are the kind of questions and interactions I've been coming up with, like, because like I've been focusing on just the one quirk for each person right now, because you have to like. That's like I realized with the show. They have to think out all the interactions between not only every quirk, but like that quirk and this situation. Like again, like what happens if the electric dude hooks up to a car battery and like runs a current through it? Does it like keep looping like an actual current, and then he's stuck basically, and does he die? Like does he fry his brain, or can he stop it and shut it off? Like what's the properties of his power kind of thing? What's the limits?
Well, that's actually I've done so many power sets over the years.
Yeah, with this, I'd always sort of assumed that like as far as the sound barrier, that it basically had a limit. Like once it got this powerful, it couldn't get any more. Yeah, so it's like after 2 hours, like there's no need to charge it up.
Okay.
Or like it can't charge up anymore. It can't become more dense, but he still absorbs all the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what made him like when he showed. People would be like talking and they're playing. They're like, okay, we've got to attack this. And then they're like looking around at each other, like trying to hit the table, and they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
And then the doors would bow open, and then boom. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool like. That's also a cool like grandiose kind of power. Where like again, you can create the tension of just him arriving, just like in Bleach, when the first arc of the Soul Society, when it was actually kind of okay. Like Kenpachi, every time he arrived, like. Just his spiritual pressure alone
would knock people
would knock people unconscious and stuff like that, and you just like know like, oh, he's getting close because I cannot move anymore.
But the thing I originally pitched to him was not as grandiose. It was essentially what would be like a covert character
that could just hush sound.
Yeah, he literally walked around. He like ran into like.
But Joey,
made it way cooler. Yeah.
There we go.
Whoosh!
Whoosh! And again, Bootleg does not go up a level.
Yeah,
they just don't want him to.
He's behind the time.
Yep. We did it! We defeated the rogue! I didn't even know this was a problem until like an hour ago. Now I didn't even know Seru Kai existed!
Now we can destroy the rogue tower!
Whatever that is.
I got kicked in the nuts during the battle.
I
got a black eye.
Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't destroy the embodiment of the building we're in. Oh look, it's breaking apart! purple lights. Boomerang, can I ask you something? Not the time.
No, what is it, CB Lady?
Why do fools fall in love? How do we get back to Concrum from here?
Exclamation! The exit. It's so far away.
Are we gonna die? We're gonna die when the tower collapses.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ugh.
We'll die with honor.
We're not going to die in a place like this. Ozma, can you hear me?
Ozma not found.
Ozma, by Air 404 permanent. Of course I can, Bootleg. Ozma, I've been watching you this whole time. Well done, Bootleg.
Except for that one thing, but
Except
we'll talk
for
about
one
that
thing.
later
Yeah.
tonight.
Stop using my arm.
Wow.
Stop using the arm I'm attached to.
Now that the rogue is dead, the mist must be gone from Concrum.
Hopefully. Terra! Come, it's time to return to the human world. Well, yeah, we know how.
How? Yeah, that's the question.
Gather together, everyone.
We're almost out of time.
Okay,
You
here
out
we
of
go.
time!
Oh, can we...
Levitate?
We can do this?
When did we were able to fly?
We walked so far, and you could have flown us the whole time.
Well, technically only in Zero World. But yes, we could have.
It's like, they're like, it's really hard.
Yeah,
I don't care. Do it again. It was awesome.
People died while we were waiting. Gonna get here. Court. Fortunately, the mist has stopped. This is good. However, the mist has claimed many lives. What do you think you're doing?
But father, the mist is...
Your Majesty, this is all a simple mistake. Yes, the experiment was successful, but...
punch.
A mistake? Fool! Does the simple mistake take people's lives? I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes you just accidentally pull
Bridges.
the trigger and you're aiming at a crowd.
I was using the
And then it just
complete long voice.
poops out kids. Hello.
Hi, you
What
look
are
like...
your children?
You
What
look
are
like
you
your
doing?
mother.
Who are you? I'm your daughter! Don't you recognize me? CB Ladio.
Your Majesty, you must believe us. We've just been to the Zero World and cut off the source of the mist.
Yes.
Is that so? Fantastic. Now I understand everything. Goodbye.
But
Pushes back in the hole.
You have my deepest gratitude.
really, that easily?
The people of Concrum owe you their lives. I wish to hear more. Like, he bought it. Totally bought it. They've literally just been hiding underneath the laboratory, living there like rats. You pop out. We saved you! That's why it stopped!
Not because of a pre-triggered time.
Let us go for the surface for a long chat. So, do these two recognize us when they see us again?
Maybe.
Court, that thing on your back, you're wearing a seru? It matters not. Court, Jete, Zora, all of you remain here and repent for what you've done. But there's no food down here. Repent!
Repent!
But there's no bathroom down here. Repent. Prince Court, His Majesty doesn't understand at all. Doesn't understand the missed possibilities or your grand plan.
Let's see if I can get the voice right. I know, Zora. Just forget about it. Besides, I still have time to get lots done.
I have a lot to do.
I know.
Oh, you're quite right, quite right. My voice keeps changing.
I keep forgetting what the voice is for him, so I'm just...
It's just do your Batman. These three brave warriors have saved Concrum, yada yada, we're out of time. As a reward, they want the Nemesis gem, but of course we can't give it to them. They're byproducts of the gates of hell, you know how this is. They are refuge. It pains me to give these three such thing as a reward, so I won't. But that's what they desire, then so be it, such dignity. I am therefore going to give them.
Father,
How dare you?
I beseech you, do not give them the Nemesis gem.
Silence, Court, this is my decision.
Damn it, Dad, still telling me what to do. Sorry. Hardleg, come here.
I will kill your chocolate.
Face wide! Now it's personal! Talks for the first time. Everyone's just like, you can talk?
Only when it
Nods.
matters.
Yeah, no.
Hardleg now has the Nemesis gem. All of you have my gratitude. Except for Court. Just do a 360 and walk away.
360, head shake, walk away. Make him work for it? Boom.
Alright, I think we'll have to figure out more about the king and everything.
A nice name, C.B. Ladio. I may have to name my daughter that. You look surprisingly like my wife.
I like it.
Would you like to accompany me?
Would you like to make another
C.B. is her own mom.
Bum, bum.
Bum.
Ew.
Alright,
But yeah, we'll just go to the save spot. I hope you enjoyed. Kind of a long episode, but last time was kind of a short. This seems to happen a lot to us. But next time on Legsplay, we'll return back to the future.
Wait, where's the
No!
save? Where are you?
Where's the save point?
No!
Ah,
Holy
fuck.
shit.
We'll find somewhere.
No,
That's not even close to how the base for Roundabout sounds.
I don't fucking remember it, alright? No one else was doing it.
That's because I'm not a fool who would attempt to do such a thing of not knowing how to do it.
Yep. Do you even know who does that song?
Yes.
It's both the direct answer and the correct answer.
Oh wait, I can go see my mom. Although, either way, if you guys want to leave, I can finish it up myself. I know Bootleg has to go somewhere. But again, next Wednesday, the stairs lead to the roof. The queen is on the roof. Oh, all right.
Push her off.
Oh, hey, let's raid her. Oh.
See, push the queen on the roof. Guys, I don't feel so good, Mr.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Bootreg. Bootreg's just like, thank God! Finally!
Alone time.
Yep. Yeah, okay, we'll finish this up. It's okay.
Thank God we got rid of that CB radio.
See you later, Bootreg.
Later.
This is my favorite place in all of Conquerum. I don't have to see anyone else. Hardleg, C.B, Bootreg, thank you very much. Thanks to you, my unborn child is safe and sound. I'm right here, Mom! I'm C.B. Ladio. That's C.B. Ladio, Mother. I want to hug myself through you. C.B. Ladio, no, don't.
Oh yeah, CB Ladio, have you forgotten?
But it's my mom!
You must never say who you are or what you will happen in the future. If you do, you will just create chaos that will benefit the mist and the galaxies.
But...
CB Ladio, I told you, damn it. Now that you are grown, you must understand, correct?
I understand nothing! Chaos benefits the mist allies?
Chaos
I don't
reigns.
understand! Back to the Future said changing the past was good! How'd you even see that movie? It's on DVD in the cave! Just shows her sitting there staring at a wall like, the power of love! Doot, 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 doot. You're right, I'll have to do it. She's like, I can hear you. I can hear you everything.
I literally heard her say everything.
To whom do you speak? No one? Pardon me, Your Majesty. CB Ladio says you look just like her mother. Oh, I see. CB Ladio, I hope to have a daughter like you.
Ooh, good try.
I'll give you this so that you can always remember me. Kiss. Gross.
Open mouth kiss.
Mania's ring. I was saving that for my daughter, but she's not as good as you. Silence. Actually, I was praying for my son, Court. Court has changed completely. He does nothing but listen to My Chemical Romance. He's always been zealous about his research, but since becoming involved with the Mist, he seems like a completely different person. I believe that the brave warriors have been sent to me by God. Please, if something happens to Court, you must save him. We'll save him to death.
Maybe.
You can save Court, I'm sure of it.
That's actually a really good moment. Having her like stop there for a second.
Like I said, they find a nice way to have like little bits of character moment, just
For
like
a boxy picture, like,
with the boxy pixels.
Yeah.
Boost HP by 25%.
I already feel like I'm going to cry.
Let's see.
Gonna give it to either one of the people that it wasn't given to.
Hardleg. Neat ring. What is the Nemesis gem? Increase encounter rate?
What? No.
I don't think I want that. That's a cool ring, CB Radio. That's mine now. But my mom gave it to me. And who's the main character?
Who just started talking?
I said my first words. I need it.
I need the ring.
Hardleg, are we going back to our own time? I mean, yeah, we can't save here. Good.
The fashion is way behind the time.
Hardleg lit the seru flame.
I really hope the return trip doesn't screw us over.
Silence. CB Radio, what's wrong? Cord is my older brother. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what... We knew that. Let's go back to the future. Your parents are waiting for you. Okay, you're right. Let's go back to the future. Do, 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 do. I forget how the Back to the Future thing goes.
I'm still picturing her literally staring at a rock wall.
Just like tilting back and forth. Just like, you get him, Marty! And Tara's looking on worried like, it's been sitting there for 2.5 hours. Prince Court, if a missed specimen is what you need, we have this.
That's right. By
analyzing
this, I can make my own mist.
Ah.
See, we were right.
You will require a device of some size.
I don't care. We'll build a mist generator in the Absolute Fortress. We'll conquer the world.
With mist.
With a very unstable and volatile...
Ratio has a giant seru and the legend of Juggernaut.
Mist technology and Juggernaut? What an interesting combination.
Prince Court, there is no end to your dreams. Ahahaha.
Listen well. This is an order. An order!
The next day, the clam opened and mist came pouring out.
They sang the song that shall end the universe.
Something like that.
7 songs or whatever.
Is that a seru, I guess?
I don't know.
I don't know what that's supposed to imply. I mean, it became a giant clam, obviously. Dun, dun. Things are bad, they're not looking good. Travel through time like we knew we should.
Shouldn't, really.
Yeah.
Shouldn't screw with time, man.
Can I just, door of light out of here?
Can't door of light out of the past.
Door of light back into the future, like you've messed the natural order!
Get back. Like, CB Lady was just some horrifying, like...
monstrosity crab creature. Forget, was there a save spot right inside of here?
No, remember, Door of Wind? You could just Door of Wind to the back of the place.
I know. I just thought there was a save spot right in here.
Yeah, there is. No, never mind.
That'll be faster.
No.
So yeah, really next time on Legsplay, well, something else, but next Monday, another episode of this. So we'll continue. We'll save over the past with Conqueror of the Future. We'll go talk to her parents now that we've got the Nemesis gem, and then we'll go fight CBU Radio's evil brother.
Yeah, I mean...
And then, who knows, goblins?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure Second Best will be involved at some point.
Yeah. And then nothing involving Hardleg's story.
Yep. What story?
Yeah.
I just exist to serve the other two people's stories.
He has to fight the chocolate bar. It's his tragic story.
Comment in the comments if you comment in the comments. Comment in the comments if you comment in the comments. If you like these guys, please subscribe. Comments.